I say to you, as Daniel Webster said, of another school and another time. It is a small college, and yet there are those who love it. I too love DePauw.
I came here and took one look at it and I said, this is what I always, imagined it looking like. This is what I always imagined it feeling like. This is what the buildings should look like in college. I saw the biology building being put up, and it was just in its early stages of construction. They talked about, what a wonderful facility it was going to be, and I came here and it just blew my mind. There's so much possibility there.
DePauw University expanded my mind, broadened my horizons, lifted my sights, and prepared me to serve and to lead.
The Democratic process is over here, business is over here, but he doesn't mind at all the business.
Don't try to influence government just for the sake of influence.
Corporations are trying to influence government
without being encouraging.
It really amazed me how, as being a freshman, I was taught on all the equipment, on how to edit and how to do audio for the TV program that we have, Evening Edition.
Just a couple days ago, I used a nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometer, and that's something that at a bigger university, you'd take your sample, you'd hand it to the grad student, he'd take it for 2 weeks and analyze, and then give you the results back for you to interpret. I get hands-on experience here.
DePauw really has a premier music center. The Performing Arts Center had so many wonderful facilities, and they were so readily available, not only with the practice rooms upstairs, which were very easy to use. The recital halls were easy. You could sign up and rehearse or practice.
DePauw's worked real well with me in providing the financial need that I had, either in scholarship setting or also, and I've worked the 3 years that I've been here, in a work-study type curriculum. The thing that helped me the most was the internship program that DePauw offers, the New York semester, and I can honestly say that I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for that semester-long program.
I actually chose DePauw University for its music business program, and going along with that also the winter term, which offers the students opportunities to experiment with what they might want to choose as a career.
It was that connection that opened the doors for me to get the job at New York City Opera and eventually move up there and within that organization and then come to Carnegie Hall. It's really terrific to be able to work at Carnegie Hall and all of a sudden learn that a piece by your theory professor is going to be played, because there's nothing like a performance in Carnegie Hall. And when they play music composed by someone that you know, it's a thrill beyond belief.
I think students, although they may not be in Carnegie Hall and see it happen, they can see my working process. And when I write something, it takes 6 months, 8 months, a year to complete it. And I can share those experiences.
Good time. Right. At DPU. DPU. That came down to DPU.
Nothing I did at DePauw was more fun or more interesting, more challenging than working for the newspaper, the DePauw. It taught me how to challenge authority, how to write, but mostly it was like a home away from home.
It's all on the students here, whether the paper looks good or not, whether the paper comes out in the morning. That's real responsibility. That's something that's going to carry through into the rest of our lives.
Head and your heart. Play with your head and heart, men, and you come out on top. Remember, DePauw never quits.
When I auditioned for The Messiah, I was not auditioning for the aria that I sang. I went up to Virginia and I said, "Oh no." She said, "What?" I said, "I've got Rejoice Greatly, help." So she basically took me and she said, "Just learn it, just calm down, take it one thing at a time." And she comes up with just ingenious ways of making you forget about how difficult it is and think about how fun it is actually to sing.
I'm very thankful that DePauw gave me the chance to sing with full orchestra. As a goal for an American singer, the Metropolitan Opera is probably the most important. And this past year I made my Met debut with Die Fledermaus and The Marriage of Figaro, which are the two of the roles that I'm asked to do all over the place. And every time I think of DePauw, it's always with a smile and always with a very kind of a sigh of relief that everything went so well in the beginning for me, that I've had the career that I've had so far and hope that I will continue.
It doesn't take many
to make it all.
make the whole structure look orange.
The brush strokes are really, really vigorous and really, really rich all over the place.
When the alums come back and they say, "Gee, Dr. K," I'd like to say they think of my lectures and my laughs, but they say, "Boy, some of the most fun we had was talking physics on the side porch and drinking lemonade." And that's when you really get to know your students and you can talk about science in a relaxed atmosphere that makes a difference.
But you don't always need a professor to learn. For example, DePauw's got a 4-week winter term every January, and they really encourage students to explore something outside the normal curriculum, outside of their major.
Last winter term, I went to Reynosa, Mexico, and helped to build an orphanage.
We worked in a village in Peru with the Indians, helping them build houses. On my winter term, I went to St. Croix and worked on the medical team for victims of Hurricane Hugo.
Through the Management Fellows Program, I was able to work on a 6-month paid internship at an advertising agency in Denver. I worked with the account executives on national accounts.
I did my internship at the Indianapolis Children's Museum.
I worked in public relations for the Indianapolis Ballet Theater.
I did research on Alzheimer's disease at Eli Lilly.
I did an internship at CNN Special Assignment in Washington, D.C., but I didn't have to go to CNN to see Bernard Shaw. He came to DePauw.
By DePauw University that it seriously embraces the challenge of the 21st century.
Have fundamentally changed the European map.
We do have a great international structure which is only just beginning to work.
Building a moral society, what we really mean is to building morality in the individual.
His talk had to do with man's inhumanity to man, but his own insistence on our humanity to each other. He was very well received by our students, and he was very taken with our students as well. And after the talk, as I was walking with him to his car, he said, "Your students, they are wonderful."
WGRE reminds you to go out and support Habitat for Humanity as DePauw students come together to build a house for the homeless.
My new friend.
DePauw has shaped me into a very strong woman, a very strong black woman. After I graduate, I think I can go into this world with a positive attitude about myself and a positive attitude about society.
DePauw University nurtured my growth and maturity. I made lasting friendships here, and if I had my life to live over again, I would return to this place.